16 years, yes. It is a long time. There's been a lot of ups and downs in those times.
As a kid, you just want to play one game, then you want to knock off your 50, then you just want to get your name on the locker when you get to 100. So to get 3 times that is, it's a buzz. It's really good.
Might have hurt, but he's still going on. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. What a goal. Sensational.
I definitely chose the right thing in coming to Sydney when I did. I was feeling probably not physically but a bit mentally tired at Collingwood, and I probably didn't have the desire to do what I needed to do, and a change was a necessity for me. See, the favourite bit was the 5 minutes after the siren. I'll never forget that period from when the siren went until we got our medals. It was unbelievable.
Number 10, Paul Williams.
I'm rapt to get there. It's a huge honour, and probably something that I'll look back on when I hang them up. Probably a small nuggety Tasmanian that did all right.
You'll see.
It's a red-letter day for an evergreen Swan. It took Paul Williams 294 games to join the Premiership club, and today in his 16th season he joins the 300 club. He's just the 48th member and only the second Tasmanian after Alistair Lynch to join one of football's most exclusive groups. Good afternoon from Telstra Dome and welcome to Saturday afternoon football in round 7. The reigning premiers against the resurgent Tigers. They're both 3-3 and it shapes as a very important game for both. Stephen Silvani, good afternoon. But first, Paul Williams, a bit of an unsung hero, and you know the feeling of reaching 300. How would he be feeling right now?
It'd be a special moment. Obviously a huge build-up throughout the week. Great that his family's with him today. Ran out with his 2 children, Arabella and Phoebe, and whatever happens today, he'll remember this game for the rest of his life.
What sort of conditions are they going to be playing in? Because they opened the roof a couple of hours ago, probably to give the place an airing, but in fact it was raining when they did it.
Which obviously was a concern. An hour ago it was quite slippery out here, but it has dried off, so it'll be interesting to see how the players adapt to those conditions.
Let's hear from the Swans coach, Paul Roos. He's with Christy Malthouse.
Oh, Paul Williams, 300 games, an outstanding effort.
Yeah, it is a big day, and I suppose, watching Robert Harvey last night, and, hopefully our guys, will give what unfortunately halves couldn't get, because it is a big day. It's a great effort to play 300 games, so we're hoping we can play well for him.
Yeah, there's a difference between winning a game and being in winning form. Do you feel like the team is back in winning form? Yeah,
we are, because we've won 2 in a row, but they've won 3 in a row. I just think there's such a fine line between having good winning form and having good form but it's losing form. So, and the games are changing quickly within games and from week to week, so every game's a battle.
The stoppages for Richmond haven't been so great this year, but it's obviously an area you pride yourselves on. Is it an area where you can win the game tonight?
Well, I think we saw again how important they were last night, Geelong versus St Kilda. So it is an area where you perhaps can get into your forward line a bit quicker and put some pressure on the opposition. So if you are winning the stoppages, it does make it a bit easier to win the game.
Well, good luck.
Thanks.
Tigers came out a little while ago and they came out minus defenders Andrew Kellaway and Ray Hall. Late withdrawals, replaced by Daniel Jackson and Luke McGuan, a cousin of the well-known former Magpie in Mick. But that's a big hole in their defence, Sauce.
Well, 2 senior players, and obviously that's going to be a real concern for the Tigers, particularly with the potency of the Sydney forward line.
Let's get to Michael Christian for a wrap of the lineups. Chris O, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Tim. Yes, big challenge for the Tigers. They've won the last couple against the Swans, but have lost their last 7 of 8 here at the Telstra Dome. Well, let's have a look at the teams. And we start with the Richmond forward line. Cleve Hughes, difficult job in game number 3 up against the 2-time All-Australian Leo Barry. A big job for him at full forward. Across the half-forward line for the Tigers, Dean Polo, what a debut last week. Matthew Richardson has kicked 15 goals in his last 4 games against the Swans. So the match-up there, Lewis Roberts-Thompson, he did a good job on Jonathan Brown last week. Let's look at the midfield battles and a couple of beauties. Greg Tivendale in very good touch for the Tigers. He's leading their tackles and also inside 50s. And of course, Paul Williams up against Shane Tuck. Paul Williams, as we've said, what an achievement. 300 games. It promises to be a big one for him and the Sydney Swans. Now, this is where it gets interesting for the Tigers. Luke McGuan, I've named him there at full back up against Michael O'Loughlin. A huge job for him there, and really they look undermanned, the Tigers, in their defensive half. Perhaps Joel Bowden will get the job on Barry Hall. Barry Hall has kicked 14 goals this season, but averages only 2 goals against the Tigers. The interchange for the Swans, Schneider, Chambers, Fosdyke and Malcheski, and for the Tigers, Stafford, Jackson, Foley and also Richie Tambling. Back to you, Tim. And there's Luke McGuan. He's got the job, as we suspected, at fullback on Michael O'Loughlin. What a task, playing game number 1 up against one of the champions, Michael O'Loughlin. Well, both sides 3-3, and a crucial game for both clubs are underway. One down by Jolly. Chance for Patrick Bowden, and it's tied up. Richards tying it up successfully on Hartigan in the centre of the ground.
Joel Bowden has a big job on Barry Hall. Has done the job on him in the past.
Jolly wins it wide of the plate. Reigns, outstanding form in the last couple of weeks. Simmons concedes ground back to Newman. Chris Newman now. He's got time to assess his options. Kick long towards half-court. Richardson and Lewis. Roberts-Thompson in it already. Richardson wins the race back. Well played. Little left foot kick. Makes some ground, but not significantly enough. And Williams shovels the handball through to Roberts-Thompson, and Kirk relieves the pressure. Mark taken by Davis at half-back for the Swans.
And Kennelly, who's picked up Delidio, and he embarks on one of those famous runs. But gee, the run after the bounce was a long one, and he has another go courtesy of Buchanan. He might kick the first. Oh, Ty, can you finish it? Not quite. In fact, he's missed everything. He was in full flight, and isn't he a sight when he is?
Well, he is, and a player that didn't play in their first 2 or 3 games for the Swan has made a massive difference to this Swans outfit.
So Swans pressing at the Lockett end. You'd fancy they'd kick plenty of goals up there, and Jolly might. He'll lob it in the O'Loughlin direction, and he got rid of young McGuan pretty comfortably, but the best that can be said for the Tiger is he's got him on the impossible angle. What does he do? Does he bend one back? That's what he's after. They don't call him magic for nothing.
Well, Michael O'Loughlin kicking the first goal of the game. Gee, it's a big job first up, isn't it, to come into a team and play on, well, a mercurial type player.
Oh, massive job, and obviously the first game is going to be a little bit nervous, McGuan, but look, as long as his teammates get around him and support him, all he can do is his best.
So, first blood to the Swans. And I must confess, that Richmond defence does look a little undermanned with the late withdrawals of Kellaway and Ray Hall, certainly lacking some height, and some big jobs for both Joel Bowden, who's been in sparkling form. He will play on Barry Hall, and as we've said, McGuan with the job on O'Loughlin. So a perfect bounce, one down by Jolly again, chance for Jude Bolton, scrambles a kick forward towards half-court, over the head of O'Keefe. Newman couldn't quite gather the loose footy. O'Keefe can, well played. He's got options outside. One of them, Richards. Clever kick around the body. Goods at the back. Couldn't quite hold on. Chance for Davis. Oh, he doesn't miss these, Davis. Kicks to Swan second. So a wonderful kick and wonderful goal from Nick Davis, and an ominous start for the Swans.
Well, it is, and we just see the work here by O'Keefe. Newman going to him, but this square-up kick, Goods probably should have taken. Coughlin's actually going with Goods at the minute, but Davis always dangerous around goals and slots the Swans second through.
Early worries for the Tigers. In fact, a decidedly worrying first couple of minutes. Sydney kicking 2 easy goals and winning the ball away pretty comfortably. A good tackle by Hyde on Crouch, but there's a Sydney free kick, and it's Jude Bolton. It is all the
And
Swans.
50, I think, Tim.
Oh, well, this will give him a shot at goal. So Jude Bolton to come way up the ground. It's a healthy 50. Scott Jeffries dished out. Let's have a look. Yes, tackled after he got rid of the ball. And then a secondary infringement produced a 50. And Bolton should kick Sydney's third. And we haven't had 2 minutes of actual playing time yet. Sorry, we've had just over 2. And they have 3 goals. The reigning premiers have made a flying start.
Well, here's the free kick on Bolton. Not much in it, Steve, really.
No, there's not much in it, but look, this is a great start for the Swans. Obviously, they'd know that Richmond lost a couple of key players in Callaway and also Ray Hall, and this will put some doubts in the Richmond youngsters' minds.
Well, some early concerns for Terry Wallace. 3 goals to the Swans. It's taken them just 6 possessions to kick those 3 goals. Quite remarkable. Back in the centre, Jolly decisively. Jude Bolton again. Well done by Tutt, getting his body over the football. Will he be penalised? No, the umpire lets it go in the hope that it jars free, but it doesn't, so another bounce.
Here's the 50, Chriso, with Andrew Rains, the offender.
Yeah, well, that's just not good play by Rains.
Jolly again, doing well early. Little soccer forward. Was nullified by Cracker. Ablett now another Swans free kick here. And it's coming to Ablett. Handball out wide. Kirk had to wait for it. Chips it short. O'Loughlin on the lead. Mark strongly on his chest. Thought about going for a fleeting moment. Decided against it. And the way they're dominating out of the centre isn't helping the defence, which is, as we've said, a little undermanned. Lead on from Barry Hall, and Hall, strong hands. And Barry Hall, one of 3 captains for Sydney this year. Brent Kirk tossed the coin this afternoon that he sharing the duties with Kirk and also Leo Barry. But chance here, kicked 14-6 from set shots so far in season 2006. Barry Hall from 45 metres brings it back and kicks it. Well, what a start for the Swans. 189 games, Jared Crouch in succession. Ball to the front, chance for Goods. Can't control it. Crouch back up and at them. Well done. Craig Bolton, handball, wild one. Gives the Tigers a chance. Great pick-up from Richardson. He's fired up, the Tiger. Coghlan now. Davis couldn't hold on. He's got support out wide. Hyde from outside 50. A driving kick to the goal square is through. The Tigers have won. Ted Richards. Oh, wobbly old kick. It's okay. Dropping short mark taken by Hall. Good overlap. O'Keefe, 55 from goal. He chips it up. One-on-one battle here. Well done by Hartigan. Knocked it away from Schneider. Schneider's got to beat 3. Now O'Keefe arrives to provide assistance. He does it brilliantly. Fosdyke hard up against the line. Kicks it back. Kirk will mark. Yes, he's marked it. Shouldn't miss from here. Comes in and puts it through. The Swans have 5.
Tough call, though.
Jared Oakley-Nichols, second gamer, turning it over. Goods. Tambling with a flash of brilliance. That was good. And the Tigers have an open 50. Richardson and Roberts-Thompson, 2 tall athletes. Richo is clever. Tambling kick coming. Can he make something? He's held. He's got to take a free kick. He will. Now, is advantage applied or not? If it is, it's a Pettifer goal. It is. It's a goal to Kane Pettifer. The Tigers have their second.
Malcheski. Fosdyke's been busy early. Kicks it low and hard. Okay, mark taken by O'Keefe. Kick and a half from goal. Hall wants it. He's running into the pocket. Barry Hall. Great kick from O'Keefe. Brilliantly weighted. His opponent, Bowden, was just 3 or 4 metres in front of Hall. But the kick from O'Keefe was outstanding, and Hall was able to mark comfortably. Kicks back to Malcheski, who marks 45 from goal, but the angle much better. Just inside 50. Drop punt is absolutely gun barrel straight. The Swans have goal number 6.
Quarter well advanced. Richmond badly needing to kick a couple of goals on the trot to feel as though they're in touch, but they're not going to get one here. They might concede. Goods, Richards with the set. He's got it. And the open goal as Richmond's defence is in tatters.
Some real concerns for the Tigers. 7 goals straight. This is the Swans' biggest ever opening quarter at the Telstra Dome. Quite remarkable. Certainly the biggest first quarter this year as well. Kirk, scrambling kick taken by Hartigan. Foley getting involved and gives it to Hyde, who chips to Jackson. Came in as a late replacement for Ray Hall. Handball to Tuck. Just corralled by Jude Bolton, but he was able to cleverly get the kick away, and the mark's taken by Simmons. Just inside attacking 50, but very wide. Right on 50, hard up against the boundary line. Gee, it's a pretty good kick. Oh, he's kicked a miraculous goal.
He's got one in the kidneys. I think he was down for a while, but has picked himself up. Nick Malcheski. Bit of crack of magic here. Good trap for Richo. Should be a goal. And it is. He's playing a great first quarter. He's been inspirational. Kennelly to Barry. But the time is ticking away. What's Leo got in mind? Are they happy just to protect their lead? It looks as though they might be. Maybe a long ball and a pack mark. That's what they need. That's what they're after. And the Tigers have numbers, but Ryan O'Keefe takes a beauty. Swans are due to miss one, but they haven't missed yet. They go to quarter time with 8 straight. What a way to close out the term. 8 straight, Sydney. Richmond 4-2. It's a 22-point lead.
Basically, Richmond did fight that quarter out. They got themselves back in the game with a couple of quick goals, but really it's been the Sydney midfield, the likes of Kirk and Buchanan, been absolutely dominating.
Kennelly out wide. Barry just waiting here as something to present, and Stafford slipped over, so I was able to gain some more meterage and delivers to O'Keefe on centre wing. Ryan O'Keefe towards half forward. Goods in good position here and marks strongly. He's away. Chips it towards full forward. Hall one out. Barry Hall got rid of Bowden. Too big, too strong. And that's always going to be a problem one-on-one.
And it was great play by Goods because he took the mark and he got back quickly and he wheeled back long to the square. Just a bit of fend off there. It was interesting in that cup. You weren't allowed to use your hands to fend off an opponent. Obviously, they've lightened up on that in the course of this season.
Haven't got a multiple goal kicker so far this afternoon. We have now Barry Hall's kick 2, puts the Swans further in front.
Who pumps long to not very much, but taking a beauty over the top of Jude Bolton. And almost touching the Telstra Dome roof. Well, not quite, but he got the set.
And more importantly, Tim, it's a mark inside 50.
Kicked 1-5 last week against Essendon. What's he done here? He's lobbed it with Greg Stafford. Now, did he mark that in the square? If he did, he can kick from plumb in front, but apparently he didn't.
Leo Barry appealing to the umpire there. Not quite sure whether he's appealing that he may have been pushed out.
Let's have a look at where he marks it. I reckon the ball was inside, but he wasn't. So from the angle, he runs around and he drives it home, and the Tigers get their 5th.
Barry Hall. Now, what's he going to do here? Put himself in a little bit of trouble. They work it through. Ablett, the quick kick to Fords for Ford and O'Loughlin. As the kick dropped in short. I don't think that was quite how the plan was meant to work, but they got away with it.
It wasn't meant to work, in your spot on there, Michael, but interesting to note that the Swans brought that ball in from a kick out, and not once did Richmond touch that ball. And I reckon the Swans probably had at least a dozen possessions in that spate of about 2 minutes of play.
So Michael O'Loughlin has taken 7 marks, kicked a goal. Chance for his second from just 30 metres. He pops it through. Swans further in front. 14th disposal coming up for Ryan O'Keefe. Penetrating one. Goods at the back. Hall in front. Malcheski's got it. Well tackled by Hyde. Tigers have got the numbers there as they work it through Polo. Oh, McGuan, look out, but he did it pretty coolly in the end. Hyde tried to get round Fosdyke, couldn't. Got the handball clear though. Crouch, kicks it though. Goods is all by himself. He waited back at him, Goods, and will stroll in and kick another one for the Swans. They're 11.
Chris Hyde must have thought if Luke McGuan can do it, so can I, but he got caught, turned it over, and the Swans cashed in. Kirk winning another clearance. Out in front of Schneider. Kept his feet when Hartigan lost his. Late thrust by Foley, but Schneider did it beautifully, and Malcheski can line them up. This to stretch it further. Malcheski, yes, squeezing it home, and Sydney lead by 41.
Well done, Tivendale. Tambling, breaks one tackle. Kicks across the ground, and the mark's taken by Hyde. Got some treatment, plays on quickly. Just slewed off the side of the boot. Simmons pursued by Chambers. His kick, looking for Richardson. He can turn his in space here, Matthew Richardson off a step. Oh, wonderful goal. Great stuff from Matthew Richardson. Hasn't had too many opportunities this afternoon, but when he has, he's certainly made the most of them. Fosdyke fighting hard against Hyde. Good battle that. Hyde fighting on. Numbers with the Tigers. Coughlin hard up against the line. And that was a poor effort. Free kick to Sydney.
Let's have a look at that touched ball now. Chambers getting out.
Oh dear.
Did it touch the post? That's the only possibility.
The kick is marked by Hall. Now there's a good look at where Hall has marked the ball, just a metre or two in from the boundary line. We'll need to kick at 50 metres, so big challenge this. Decides to kick short. Oh, good lead provided by Ablett.
Does look like it.
So here's Luke Ablett at the other end. This would be damaging. From the drop part, there's a beauty. He's kicked the goal for the Swans. Adds salt to the wound. Fosdyke, no pressure, so he can just keep bouncing it through the midfield. He keeps going. Hall leads. That's ignored, or is it? No, he kicks it short to Kennelly. Kennelly's got an open forward line to deal with. If he can get it in quickly. Sweeps the handball. Buchanan from 35. Drop punt, under pressure. Goes through for a goal. The goal to the Swans.
46-point margin. It's been a thumping. Chambers doing okay. Fosdyke having a big couple of minutes here, and what a clever kick. Goal earlier in this quarter. He makes it 2, and this is a rout.
So Buchanan. Lachlan wants it to the goal square. That's the direction the kick takes, and he gets rid of McGuan and marks on his chest. He's kicked a couple, now he's kicked 3, and that's the thing that Richmond didn't want to happen at the start of this third quarter.
And he has men running. One of them is Goods, who conjured that brilliant mark a little while ago. This rather more straightforward. He's been good today. Goes for Hall. One out with Rains. It is David and a rather large Goliath.
And this has been their concern, Tim, is their matchups in their defensive half, the Tigers. The Swans are confident to go to a 50-50 contest, and here's a stat on the screen.
Brett Deledio, the only player for Richmond that's taken more than 2 marks.
Yeah, just incredible. And you consider the amount of tools Richmond have got in this lineup. They just cannot mark a football.
Paul and O'Loughlin trading goals, and Big Bad Barry kicks his third. Chesky giving it off, and Williams in his 300th, finding Buchanan, finding O'Keefe, who was up there at the contest a moment ago on the half-back line, and now he's delivering to O'Loughlin.
Great skill, wasn't it? Great run, great usage of the ball, and every Swans player there knew exactly what was happening. They were creating space for each other, and O'Loughlin there had all the space in the world to lead into.
Of Sydney's 17 goals. He makes it 2. They go further ahead.
So O'Loughlin just sets it up. Barry Hall in front. Oh, spectacular mark. Another one. Hall kicks goal number 4.
Despite the roof being closed, it is raining goals. at Telstra Dome. Foley puts Richmond forward. Tambling pressured by Schneider. Taken wide. And Leo Barry does pretty well. So Hughes from the proverbial impossible angle. Good kick. Tremendous kick. Goal umpire wasn't expecting it. Finished up on the seat of his pants. The Tigers kicked their first score of this third quarter.
And he finally relieves the pressure with a beautifully placed kick onto the chest of Richardson. Just backward of the wing though. Over the top, Hyde. Good running. Can assess his options, but he hasn't got much to go to. Decides to kick very wide. Oh, good kick and a very good mark above his head taken by Pettifer. Full stretch. 45. Drop punt is close. It's home. Pettifer kicks his second. Barry Hall, 11 marks, 12 disposals, 4 goals. He's been a very good player, one of many for the Sydney Swans this afternoon. Simmons towards Foley, picked up by Malcheski off a step. Oh, that's a great kick for goal.
In a numerical sense, Swans escape again.
Just too strong.
Barry to Malcheski. And back to Leo. Pumps it long for Craig Bolton. And now it's wide open in the 50. O'Keefe is running down with the flight of the ball. And he might have a shot after the siren for the second time in the match at the Lockett end of the ground.
Gee, that was a great kick coming in from Craig Bolton. Plenty of penetration. In behind the defence. Great work.
So lightning strikes twice. He goaled at this end after the quarter-time siren, and Ryan O'Keefe does it again. He kicks his second of the match.
He's been a wonderful player as well, leading possession winner on the ground. He's coming in for his 22nd disposal. Chips it to Kirk, who was outstanding early. He's coming in for disposal number 21. Really got them away in the blistering opening quarter, Brett Kirk. Wobbles the kick towards half forward, going back, a stretching mark taken by McVeigh. As O'Keefe limps from the ground, we'll get to that in a moment. McVeigh tries to squeeze it through and does just. Great effort. One of Richmond's best. Just gets the kick away. And it's okay. Mark taken by Polo. Wants to play on and does it intelligently because Tambling is loose at centre half forward. He can keep going here, Tambling, from 45. Low and straight. Goal to Richmond. Flipped it very quickly to Kirk, who handled it pretty well in the end. Back to Richards. Now he'll just bang it long towards full foot. Hall at the back. O'Loughlin. Oh, they can share it with Bay. Kicks his second.
Swans now have their highest score in the Paul Roos coaching era, bettering around one effort against Carlton in 2003. One record the Blues will be happy to get rid of. Here's Williams, kick a goal in your 300th, and he does. The icing on the cake for a popular Swan.
Looking like Paul Roos' biggest ever win. The latest, or the best so far, has been 84 points against the Lions, round 20 of last year. It's currently 92. As they go forward again, Goods, O'Keefe back on the ground, drills it low and hard towards Hall, who marks strongly. Hall's kicked 4 from 45. Now he's kicked 5.
And the Tigers are staring at their worst ever defeat against Sydney. They have Adelaide next week. They have Geelong at Geelong, a trip to Subiaco. The Kangaroos almost merciful relief. It's not a happy-looking month. And here go the Swans again. Richards, he must feel he's fallen on his feet in Sydney. Jared Crouch, who equals Andy Collins on 189 consecutive games today. Eamon Buchanan puts them 100 points in front.
.26 goals, 12. Great effort. Ablett, long to the goal square. Hyde couldn't take it. O'Keefe will kick another one.
It has been a harrowing day.
Well, the bad news, Tim, is that they've got Adelaide next week, followed by Geelong and then Fremantle.
Not a good outlook, and they are in horrible trouble here trying to get the ball out of their 50. A ball up eventually called. It'll be their second 100-point defeat in 7 weeks. Prior to this, they'd only suffered 14 of those in their proud history of around about 100 years. Davis to Kirk. Fosdyke spots up O'Keefe and absolutely drills it into his chest. But Ryan O'Keefe can have another go at them. He looks as though he's been having shots at them throughout this last quarter.
I can tell you something, Tim. I'm glad I'm sitting up here and not a Richmond defender today. Their skills have been sensational, the Swans.
He's kicked 3. His stats make impressive reading. For the Swans' 28th goal. And a lead of 118 points.
Boundary throw in. Tuck and Kirk. Cut the unlikely ruckman. Fosdyke, well tackled. At the full though, it's all Swans. And that's it. Couldn't have been more impressive, the reigning premiers. They've defeated the Tigers by 118 points.
Of 118 points. It's among the top 10 Swans victories of all time in a numerical sense. It comes in at number 8. Christy Malthouse with the man who played his 300th.
Paul, congratulations. In your wildest dreams, could you have imagined a celebration for your milestone like that?
No, not at all. I can't remember the last time we kicked 28 goals, so the boys were just super from word go. We really played the way we want to, and it was one to remember for sure.
You seem to have, the team seems to have been improving weekly this season. How close are you after today's game to your premiership form, do you think?
Oh, it's hard to gauge. We're making little steps each week, and I think the boys realise how we need to play, and the last 3 weeks we've done that.
You really finished it off in the end there too. I mean, you almost wanted to make a statement.
Yeah, no, it was super. Like Roosie said, 3/4 time that we just got to make sure that we keep doing what we're doing and don't get in any bad habits, and the boys did that.
Well, what about for yourself? I mean, Paul Roos before the game said he really hoped that they could win the game for you. How were you feeling running through the banner with your little girls and everything?
Yeah, no, I hope they remember it. My oldest one will, but I don't know about my little one. But it was a super moment for myself.
And what about, you look like you almost wanted to come off at the end there, but did they say you had to stay on the ground?
Oh, I wanted to come off. But yeah, I was a bit knackered, and Roosie just told me to go play full forward because I've played there a fair bit in my career, haven't I?
At least you got a goal for your 300th as well.
Yeah, snuck one in. It was good.
Well done. Congratulations.
Thanks, Chris.
Well, he's a 2-time best and fairest at the club, and they honoured him today with a mighty performance. The old-timers among you might recall that in 1987, the Swans on 3 consecutive weeks kicked